My chat decided to behave weirdly. But we should be live now.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Internet.
Yes.
Howdy.
Hello. It's me. Alright. https://www.twitch because Discord wants you to do as much as possible, so I just do the whole URL.
Did we leave off just like being surrounded? Is that where we left off?
Yep.
Yeah, totally surrounded.
By
Hey.
goblin people.
Yes.
Hey, there's a Skyman in the chat. How dare
Where's
he?
Goblin?
He's a
Oh,
wild
yeah.
man.
Gotta do that.
Oops, that's not how you spell everyone. It's fun when there's actually no tech issues, isn't it?
What's that like?
Really nice. Unusual, but nice. It also makes me feel like something's going wrong and I don't know what it is.
Probably true.
So it's nice, but also paranoid. Also, for reference, I'm still using Streamlabs for this one because I've been lazy and lacking. And also learning.
We're live now, correct?
Yep.
Make sure.
We went live early since no one objected.
I still haven't gotten Retribution's voice right in all the 2 streams we've done.
You've barely
I can only
talked,
do it-
honestly. We should probably
I
interact
know.
with you more, but, like, I don't know
Well,
what
she's
to
not that
say.
much of a talker, but I can only do the voice when I'm standing up because that's how I've been practicing it. 'Cause I just don't sit down very often. I'm either laying or standing. And when I'm sitting, I can't find the right voice.
That's interesting.
Yeah, voice acting's weird like that. I've actually noticed I will lose.
That just means you're using your diaphragm more when you're using the voice.
I will actually lose voices that I've used in the beginning of a game that I've voiced for, that I did voices on stream. I will lose them towards the end of the game because I completely forget how I did them.
Think about it too hard.
Yeah.
The voice I did, and usually on Thursdays I DM, but I've been feeling kind of burnt out, so I let someone else DM last night. And I did the most obnoxious character I've ever played. It was a lot of fun.
There's a discussion in one of my Discord groups about the about how Reddit seems to have confusion over whether they should use bananas or the metric system as a unit of measurement.
Bananas, obviously.
Bananas.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Bananas are superior.
Because they're just so consistent.
They're all exactly the same size.
Yep, totally.
Man, if you guys had seen bananas before they became the kind that we have right now. like that. Alright. Everybody shilling out to their social networks and stuff?
Yes. You did that right.
And Twitter, and I'm done.
Oh, quick question for the timekeeping. We got ambushed just after waking up, right? Was that at like the like full 8 hours, like kind of like a 6-7 o'clock in the morning time zone, or?
Correct. Yeah. No, it was right after you guys were investigating the weird snake frog creature that you caught in your trap.
That was sad. And here's the part where I click a lot to get Twitter to do the thing that I wanted to do.
You always have so much trouble with Twitter.
I don't like Twitter.
All right then.
I don't
I've
like
got
Twitter
the
either.
yeah. It can be a
I don't use
I
Twitter.
currently have the calendar set as 7 a.m. on the 23rd of Olaroon.
Sounds correct to me.
Is that 2 days after the day of mourning?
Yes.
Sorry, that's the only way I can keep track of time. When's the day
Well,
of
think
mourning?
she-
technically
it's
3, but
yeah.
yeah.
3 days, wow. Oh yeah, it's because we didn't do anything that one day. Other than
Yeah, the
and
21st
Sonic
was
getting
people getting
shit-faced
drunk. We stayed the night in the field. And the 22nd was pure travel.
Alright. That should be good enough for now. Oh yeah, I forgot I moved this over here. Okay. I had a new setup for the way I did things and I completely forgot that I modified that. Because the Discord call needs to be the one always in view. Whoa. Hey, whoa.
Hey, whoa.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone else is seeing that, but like I'm getting... Yep, I'm getting glitchiness in the video camera for some reason now.
Seems fine to me. On
Yeah.
Discord.
It's just...
but-
It's just when I move my mouse over to the other monitor. Like, legitimately, it's... I move my mouse on this first monitor, and it's... Nope. Okay. Well... But yeah, it's fine on the stream. It's something that's happened multiple times before. I don't know what it is, but
All right. Well, so we kind of already started recapping, so we'll finish recapping. You guys had met up in Zilspar and had discovered some freaky creatures seemingly taking sheep in the night. Ended up actually killing one of the shepherds. I investigated into it and killed these freaky abominations or aberrations, and decided to investigate to where they came from. And there were some people that talked about some strange dealings to the southwest down the coast onto the peninsula. And so you guys decided to head that way. Along the way, after a day of drinking and helping out the townsfolk and getting cheese, lots of cheese,
So much cheese.
you guys discovered along the way some strange creatures, animals that seem to be odd combinations, amalgamations of each other, and they were very disconcerting. And these, where you saw some odd experimentations before, these seem slightly different. Not only are they just seemingly random parts put together with no real reason why, the parts of these creatures where the different parts are kind of fused together seem to have this black, glassy, kind of almost obsidian texture to them, similar to the skeletons that you saw of those creatures. You guys started to continue to head that way, decided to lay a trap to see if you could catch one without having to kill it. And you got caught in the morning this strange snake creature that had the head and like front legs of a frog. It was very creepy. Using Speak with Animals, it was not really able to give much besides that it was in pain, and that it said something about many eyes and cold, and then the relief from the pain seemed to allow it to finally just kind of pass, as the creature was not made to be that way. As you guys were discussing what this meant, what it was about, Kaelin, your bow on your back vibrated and alerted you to danger. And as you turned around, you saw that almost coming out of the earth itself were these strange sort of goblinoid creatures. They don't have heads, they just have kind of like mounds where their heads should be, and it's a goblinoid kind of top of the head, but it's got two mouths and two arms on either side of its body, and they're gray skinned. They look just like horrible experiments, and they're all just like cackling, and the two mouths on each one are chittering, so it sounds like a massive crowd of individual goblins are all starting to like chitter and chatter with each other. Torque, you're the only one that can understand them, and you're hearing just over like the din of just random kind of like conversations with each other. That's something about bringing to the master. And there's about 20 of them all around. They seem to have like dug up from the ground itself, and as you look around quickly, as you guys kind of turn around, face everything, you see there's also another figure that's slightly behind the circular perimeter of these creatures that are surrounding you. And it's a hooded person. Can't quite see their features. It's a ragged robe and cloth. It's nothing fancy. What you do see of the creature, its feet, and its feet are partially hidden by the grass, but they look pink and gaunt, and you can see the lines of the bones in the feet itself. And you almost, as it's standing there, the more perceptive of you can tell that what might be just wind rustling the robes. It almost looks like there's something moving the robes from underneath in kind of a weird, undulating fashion underneath.
Don't tell me it's 3 of these in a coat, in a trench coat.
No.
I don't know. I'm
I mean,
pretty convinced.
There's plenty of them
No,
that
but
can do
I'm
that.
having thoughts of them on fire.
Oh, I forgot to... Hold on one second. Sorry,
Go for it.
I completely forgot to make Merrick visible. That is on me. There we go.
I'll be invisible during this combat. That's okay.
Cue Dragon Ball Z teleportation sound.
Sorry about that, Merrick.
But now you guys can see
You're
a little
forgiven.
bit of where you guys are at. So there's a large grouping of them that are just kind of surrounding you all with that weird creature in the back. Did if you do anything immediately?
Oh, I thought they were all closer than that.
Nope. That's why it wasn't like, oh, how did 20 of them like sneak right up on you? No, they're a distance away.
Yeah, Kale's bow of warning or whatever alerted us before they got super close.
Yeah. Well, is Torquerana going to tell us what they're saying?
I'm trying to figure out would he quickly do that in the moment, and it's hard to say. I mean, he's let me flip a coin really quickly.
Go for it.
Ooh, I need to change the music. Hold on a second. This is me, guys. This is me never remembering to do things that I need to do.
Okay, so rather than like quickly telling everyone what they're saying, he'd actually kind of like tilt his head and say towards just the general crowd in general, who's master? Where go?
Are you speaking in Goblin or just
In Goblin.
In Goblin. So you guys hear this chatter of unintelligible language, and you hear Torque kind of not as tilt his head and start to respond in a halting manner. You see a number of them turn to each other and start chittering, and almost kind of back up a little bit. And the creature in the back, on the map, you'll see he's under over in the far right. You hear this very strange voice come from underneath the hood, and it's I can't replicate it, but it is kind of this greasy, high-pitched voice that almost has kind of a dual tone to it, very subtle, but it speaks up from under the hood. You know who this master is. That's why you're here, right? And it's the saying in Goblin, so the rest of you, the Torque's the only one that understands this.
Yeah, but Torque's talking to them, so Sheeran's going to hold off. She does have her trident out, though.
You know who after master? Torque will turn to everyone and just kind of like say.
Shauna looks at him and is like, I don't have no idea who this master is.
Master? I've never even seen these people in my life. These creatures. People? Creatures? Are they people?
That's up to your determination.
Roll
These
for it.
things.
We will not let you ruin the master's plan.
Was that in Gob or...
It's still in Goblin. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I am sorry.
They don't want us here.
Well, we kinda have to be to figure out what's going on, I think. What are they saying, Torque?
They're you hear a number of them very quietly whispering to each other. Roll a perception check for me, Torque.
Sure thing. A perception is 12.
12. You hear one of them closer behind kind of the rock that's behind you. You hear one of them just, remember, I remember. Just make sure, remember, I remember. That's all you hear from them. Just kind of this arguing back and forth between the two mouths on that one specifically.
Say lots not make sense. Robe leader. And with that, he's also gonna kind of like stand up a little straighter, so he's definitely, tall and easily seen.
Mm-hmm.
And in Goblin, if we leave, you let go?
You see a number of them look at each other as you say this, and then the ones that are closer to the hooded figure look at it. And the hooded creature kind of tilts the head a little bit, and then looks in your direction, even though it's got the hood kind of over its face. You can't fool me. You're just lying. You won't leave.
Do you think we're gonna have to fight, Torque?
I'm not exactly keen on
Torque
going to
is,
see another leader in an underground facility.
Torque just kind of looks towards his little pile of stuff that's kind of closer to the rock behind him. And he just nods slowly.
What was that, Brian?
I was saying Kales does not feel like going to see another leader with a group of people around him.
Last time we were surrounded like this, we died.
Exactly. And Kale's having some massive flashbacks right now.
You see the creature kind of put its hand up, and as you see its hand go up, you see that strange kind of pinkish flesh, really gaunt and mottled, but sticking out of the sleeve alongside its hand, you can almost see the ends of these weird like tendrils that are kind of thick and pink, and they're like these weird tentacles that are sticking out past the wrist, and it kind of points its hand towards the lot of you. It's like, get them. You see the rest of them not advance, but they kind of like get their weapons ready. It's an odd, like you expected them to rush, you guys all kind of tense, but they don't right away. But we are going to hit initiative.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Nice.
And this is why I love this app that I have, this Game Master app. I can roll 21 initiatives in one button.
Nice.
Kale, initiative.
That would be a 21.
Shioran.
17.
Merrick.
Also 21.
Retribution.
18.
And Torque.
Soft 20.
Man, you rolled well.
Yeah, natural 18 on the die.
And Shauna just got a natural 20 for a 24.
Nice.
Nice.
which means, as I may have forgotten my own rules in this, but she gets advantage on all of her d20 rolls for this turn.
Okay, so that's where it came from. I was confused on Wednesday when I was playing a game, and I was like, "What were your rules on rolling a natural 20 on initiative?"
Yeah, that way a natural 20 is not wasted for initiative. Making it Shauna's turn. So you see as this thing makes this order, and they all kind of like get their weapons ready, but hesitate almost as they don't all move forward. You see them they've got spears, some of them got like crossbows and javelins and stuff, like random weapons. None of them are very good quality at all. She immediately just starts looks like she's about to dash forward, but then turns really quickly and goes backwards. Goes up on 11.
She monk faints.
Yeah. Definitely hitting.
I should probably have that up so that people can see it happening.
I gotta make sure I remember her stuff.
Oh, by the way, V is not here today because she wasn't feeling very good, so we're letting her rest as she needs. Still welcome to come in if she feels better, but...
Just making sure we got everything. I don't know her character as well.
She did say sneak attack because of advantage.
Correct. And yeah, so yeah, with advantage 26, and so that is going to be 16 points of damage. So she comes rushing in on this thing with a kind of a spinning motion as she comes at it, and the fan that she has just slices this thing straight between the two mouths, and this thing just drops dead.
It's more like cleave one time instead of pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, it's just like...
It's more like chop.
It was more just, she just kind of like woof, spinning motion and cuts it clean in half with her fan. She's then going to move.
Chop, pop, pop.
And going to then move on to doing she lands in kind of like a kneeling position, springs off that one, and goes for kind of a straight kick to this one side. For a natural 20.
Damn, nice.
Whatever dice you're using for her, don't use them for the goblins.
Yeah, you gotta switch it up.
That's 2 natural 20s in a few rolls, yeah.
Those are specifically for Shauna.
All right. She did 16 points of damage with this one. I did use a key point to add a little extra death strike to it. As she comes in and the foot connects with the side of this thing, and you just hear this just kind of crunching sound, and this thing goes limp. And that is both her attacks. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She's going to get over there, just kind of get in the face of the next one. So you see as she comes in and just takes 2 of them out really quickly, goes up to the third one, and they are all in that small like area in the back. They all are just like backing away, terrified.
I believe she has another attack, doesn't she? A bonus attack? If she wants to take it.
True. Monks. Yeah, that's right. She will take that.
He says your dice are channeling her dice.
Apparently, I got a 25 to hit with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But that one was a lot lower with only 5 points of damage. So yeah, she comes in, goes a little boom, 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 and just smacks the shit out of these guys. Leave it at that for now. And yep, she's got the agile parry because she was able to attack with the unarmed strike as part of the attack action. And she's got 2 to her AC. Alright, and that will move it to Mr. Merrick with Kalen on deck.
I'm going to bonus action Mantle of Flame.
So Merrick just immediately it's covered in roaring flames.
And per the usual, when the mantles activate, there's like a caw of a phoenix that goes around, like emanates from him.
Caw!
I normally hear phoenixes as screeching rather than cawing.
A fiery bird sound.
Yeah.
Fiery
It's just
bird.
one of those questions.
Not in this
of,
universe.
Is the phoenix a red-tailed hawk or is it an
So-
actual bald eagle cry?
So, apparently, in this universe, phoenixes are evolved crows.
Yeah, totally. That is canon now.
It's actually kind of badass, actually.
Crows are very smart, and some
Mhm.
phoenixes are, not all. Anywho, now that I'm on fire, I'm going to use my spell sniper abilities to make a... I'm going to do a 4th level Scorching Ray and fire 3 at the main dude
All right.
and 2 at the guy in front of him. That's going to be a 26 for the first one.
This is against the main guy.
The robed guy.
That definitely hits.
Another 26 for the second one against him.
Yep.
And a 22 for the third one against him.
Yep. All hit.
And then my charisma modifier is added to every single one for the mantle, right?
I'd have to reread it. I don't remember. I think it's only once. But let me check.
If I'm remembering my one player's ability, it is every one.
Whenever you roll fire damage on your turn, roll gains bonus to charisma of your charisma modifier. So it would be every single one with Scorching Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so then the first one will be 13 points of damage.
All right.
12 for the second one.
All right.
And then 16 for the third one.
All right. Nice amount of damage.
That's 31 fire, right?
Correct.
You see this the fire kind of strike at this creature, and the robe gets kind of like burnt away with the strikes, and what you see underneath is the cloth kind of burns away, and what's left is a bare torso of this creature is a horrifying visage of this gaunt, like almost starving type of physique of a man, but this is not qualified as a man in any fashion. It has multiple of these pink, long, kind of like tentacles writhing along its body. It's even got them wriggling out of its eye sockets, which are just empty save for the wriggling tentacles. And it's got two massive ones that kind of arch over its back that you can now see was part of the shape of this creature, as it's just kind of, they're all just like wriggling around him, and he just opens his mouth, just as you can see the burnt flesh from where Merrick hit him.
Gross.
Very
Yummy.
It's gonna be so hard for Torque not to want to eat that.
Probably tastes like
Oh,
calamari.
Is it like cotton candy pink? Very appetizing.
That's a 24 to hit the next guy.
Yeah.
And then a 19 for the final one.
Is that all on one? The last two?
Yeah, the last two are all on that one guy.
Okay, right in front of him.
Yeah, and I think for 4th level that's 5 bolts, right?
It's the second level spell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3, 4, 5, yeah.
Alright, so that should be all of it.
Roll your damage.
Sorry, my computer's being stupid.
It's all good. It's not like I've held us up before or anything. It's not like I haven't held us up before. Words.
English.
English.
It's a dumb language.
Alright, that's gonna be 9 for the first one. Wait, nope. 9 plus 5, because I'm in my mantle. So 14 for the first one.
He's dead after the first one. So the first one nails it in the chest, and the second one just obliterates the top half of it afterwards. And it is done.
And then I will move in between Kale and Shorin.
So now you guys have a human torch that is currently on fire between the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely see these things are very terrified at the
It's
moment.
definitely bright because I radiate 30-foot radius of bright light and then 30-foot radius of dim light. So I am a torch.
Exactly.
He is the morning star.
Kalen with Torque as the next player on deck.
Okay, so where's the main guy? Is he still alive?
He is still alive. He's over to the far right.
Okay, I'm gonna move a little bit out, and I'm going to do the same thing that Merrick just did. I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray
Go for it.
at 3rd level.
All right. So 4 of them.
Yeah.
You doing it all against him?
Yes.
Okay.
First one is a 15.
Let me check here. 1 second. Uh, 15 misses. He is able to kind of dodge out of the way of that one.
Okay. Second one is a 16.
Just hits.
Okay.
Kind of correct your aim at that second one, and it kind of strikes him in the shoulder.
All right. Second one misses. Third one misses, and the fourth one is a 20. That hits. All right, so 2 hit. Okay, 1 second here. .46. Hold up. $18 damage total.
18 damage total. All right. So the 2 strike him, and as like the skin is getting burnt away, and you can see as a bit on its chest where some of its shoulder blade gets what's the word I'm thinking of? exposed.
Mhm.
That's the word. You can see that there's that same blackish look to the bone on his shoulder.
Fun, and as a bonus action, I will inspire Shioran.
Thank you.
Get a D6 to use in an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, or you can use it to add to spell damage or healing.
I should probably mark that on my sheet because I almost forgot to do that. Which means I would have forgotten to actually use it.
All right. You see 2. Takes off. He's like holding his spear, and then you hear like there's like a bit of like a weird conversation between the two of them, and then drops it and runs south. Torque.
Torque will take a 5-step movement to the left of him on the map. He'll grab his shield from his pile of stuff. And just a quick question logistically. The little raised sections, are those actually raised, or is that just part of the map art?
They are actually raised, yeah.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, 5-step over to the left, and then he'll go ahead and jump up the ledge.
Which pretty easy with your strength, able to just.
Because his high jump is 6 feet naturally, and then I could, roll athletics to do
Get a
more.
Diablo 2 barbarian leap vibes.
As he stands there, what's the general opinion of these two here? If he can get a quick read on them without, blowing actions.
Just do a quick insight check for me.
21.
21. They look absolutely shaken. They just saw 2 of their friends just die by one of you, and then the other 2 shooting fire out of their hands or starting on fire. You definitely tell that they're backing away. They don't look ready for combat.
Okay. Then he'll go ahead and standing up as tall as he can. So instead of like his normal slouch, which is naturally pretty hunched over, he stands fully erect to 7 feet tall, and he's just gonna shout out in Goblin, "Leave weapons! We take care, robe! Run!" And then after that, he's gonna go ahead and use his bonus action to rage, and his tail will elongate 5 extra feet and become spiky as he activates his tail weapon.
That's terrifying.
Interesting. I like it.
Make just an intimidation check for me.
Sure thing.
Would it be with advantage since they are already like scared?
DC is pretty low at this point.
Okay.
All right, so that's a natural 18 on the die, plus 3, so 21.
They look like they're about ready to still like. Well, you do see some excrement get released. They are their weapons are like just vibrating out of their hands. They look absolutely horrified.
And yeah, with that, he'll just stand there, tail kind of whipping around him, holding his shield, just looking for one to do something.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I will also move to the diagonal left of him, so that he's within 10 feet of those two, just in case.
All right. You see. You see the one up near the top. It kind of takes its aim with one of its javelins at you, Retribution, reels it back, and then just kind of chucks it, and it lands about 2 feet from you, and just kind of dunk on the ground.
I'm just going to stare at it with a very unimpressed face.
Sharon sees this and looks at it and stares at it too, like, really?
It kind of, there's a bit of like a kind of conversation happening between that one, and it has a weird, what you'd guess is a smile out of its 2 mouths. It's a bit weird, as like half its torso is kind of like split as the 2 mouths kind of move in that motion. It's very odd. 8 picks up its crossbow.
Did these guys roll more than 17?
Yes.
Okay.
This one specifically was a dirty 20. Shoots its crossbow in your direction, Retribution, but you see as it kind of like aims at you, last second it kind of aims upwards and shoots, and it just arcs far over your head, and then lands kind of like about 5 feet back behind you, Shioran.
I see they're being very deceptive, making the show of actually attacking us.
Retribution, your turn.
I am terrified. No, I'm going to they have multiple spears, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just leave that one there. I'm going to technically dash, but I don't want to actually dash. I just want to mosey over. And I'm gonna get like as close to the main guy as I can. And that's what I'm gonna do with my turn. Just
you gonna use your full 60 to get over there?
Just casually walk towards him.
You get right up to him with a full 60.
And then I'll just smile.
You just see Retribution just kind of like lift her foot up.
She doesn't even draw her sword.
Nope.
Just walks up, and you see this thing as you're getting close to it has its hands out towards you. You see its tentacles like wriggling at you, and you just like get like in its face, and it's just like spittle at you, just growling at you. It doesn't seem to be attacking you.
It's like, hello.
One, you see one turn to the hooded one, and it looks confused and says something in Goblin. Too quiet, unfortunately, for you to hear, Torque.
Yeah, I figure I'm on the opposite side of this battlefield by this point.
The creature, the pink tentacle creature, kind of like looks at it with its like one of its tentacles kind of goes, and you hear it say something in Goblin as well. And then it picks up its spear, moves in on you, doesn't flank you. And just kind of like jabs at you with its spear. And like you just kind of look behind you as it's doing this, and he's just kind of like goading at you with the spear, but not actually trying to like stab you.
Can I flick him in the head?
Shioran, your turn.
We can infer that these goblins are acting weird, can't we?
That's up to you.
Would it take an action to do an insight check to figure out what is going on?
No. I mean, that's going to be... I've given you basically what you're going to get out of an insight. So, you're noticing these things that they're doing.
Sharon has no idea what to do because she feels like Something weird is going on. Yeah, I had a plan, and then stuff like that happened, and now I'm just like, what do I do?
One of my favorite lines from Bo Burnham is he's one of his songs. Slap him with a rock hard misdirection.
Ooh, that was loud. Whatever that was. What can I do? I'm sorry. Like I said, I had a plan, and then things changed with the way they're doing it. I think I'm going to... You know what? I'm sorry, I just had a thought, and it would be hilarious. Let's, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that just for the funny effect. I'm gonna cast Enlarge Reduce on Torque. To scare the crap out of the other two even more.
Hey, look, you're large again. That gets you. So
I am
yeah,
now Godzilla.
yeah. Essentially, so how tall is Torque naturally?
Torque is naturally exactly 7 feet, so he's now 14 feet tall.
14 feet tall. He like
With
quadruples in
essentially
weight.
a 20-foot long tail now.
Yeah. And it just you cast this spell and you see Torque just grow to this massive, like crocodile from Batman type of ginormous thing, and you see these things actually scream at that point in terror, and if it was their turn, they'd run.
It's just mean, Shiora.
I know, I'm sorry. I don't want to attack now because these guys don't seem like they're actually wanting to attack. But as my bonus action, I'm going to do I have a bonus action that's not a spell? I have a few. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the starry form. Basically, my trident spills over with stars and lines, and which one was it? It was the dragon, which I said was Hunter Shark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm going to take that form.
So now there's two shining beacons right next to each other, as the Human Torch and the starry form
So
trident are both just giving off tons of light.
everyone's transforming.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I start, and then I'm just gonna start walking, like, towards these guys over here.
All right.
Just like moseying down. I'm not even trying to be, fast about it. And I think that'll be the end of my turn.
All right.
I can't understand them, so honestly, it's up to Torque to talk to them if he wants to. But would I be able to like roll an intimidation check after that or something?
Kind of unneeded at this point. As you get closer, they start to run.
Yeah, so I'm gonna free action just yell at the others. I don't think we need to kill them. All right, Tori.
Tried to launch the Roll20. It crashed my everything.
Everything except Discord, apparently.
Number 10 is going to take the disengage from Shauna. Get the hell out of there.
Uh-oh.
Number 14 lays down its arms and goes completely prostrate in front of you, Torque. And just like splays out all four of its arms and is just screaming in Goblin, "Mercy! Mercy!" from both its mouths. So it's just we're like, "Mercy, mercy, 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 mercy."
Excellent. We will now start the new religion, the religion of Grey Lizard.
You see the creature burnt and injured with you in its face as it's like at you. Kind of like looks, and you see it's one of its tentacles and its eyes kind of look over at the other ones as they're running away, and then looks back at you, and then just its arms just kind of like go limp at its side, and it just has this just That's all you hear from it.
Just pat it on the head.
The number 13, same kind of line as the other one, but this one kind of kneels and starts doing this motion at you with all four of its arms.
I see Torque has graduated to anthropology professor.
All right. Well, it goes back up to Shauna's turn. Don't necessarily know what she would do at this point, but I don't feel like she would let these things necessarily go.
You can always get B's opinion in chat if she's still there.
She responds quickly enough.
Oh.
Let's see. Otherwise, she's just going to go for a couple of light attacks. She comes up to this one and does a quick spin kind of kick move where she jumps up in the air and both legs kind of like boom, boom as she spins past this guy, and the top of its, I don't know, mound kind of snaps to the side and drops dead. Hops down to that one. Oh, which, by the way, she rolled another natural 20 for that second hit.
She just uses his corpse as a landing pad to get down next to this guy.
Essentially.
I have actually done that before. Brian remembers. It wasn't completely dead, so I asked I asked the DM if he would allow me to drop off of the roof that I was on and use that as like an impromptu tack on top of it. He had me roll, I believe it was a dex check to make sure I landed on target or something.
She comes down and uses her blade, uses her another unarmed strike this time, and comes down on this creature's kind of like shoulder, snapping part with two of its arms. So they're both now like limp to one side, with the other two arms holding the spear now, as it's not quite dead, but it looks terrified. Merrick.
I will. We'll just do another regular Scorching Ray at the leader guy.
You do see that he seems to have like lowered his arms and is not attacking. If you still
All right.
do that.
Well, then let's do a. What do I got here? How far can I move? 5, 10, 15, 20. I will just use my movement and then my action to get right up on that guy. That way he knows we're serious and doesn't try to run from everybody.
So you move up next to Retribution.
Yeah, if I'm able to, I'll get behind the guy so he's cornered. But I'm not sure if I can.
You can get kitty corner to him with full 60.
Alright, yeah, I'll do that.
And you just see just like one of like the eyes, like tentacles, like moving with you as you move behind him.
And then just for flavor, to keep him scared, I will bonus action cast Flame Blade.
All right. So on top of being on fire himself, Merrick kind of reaches down and now holding this flaming scimitar.
Personally, I'm actually kind of imagining like he's on fire, and then all of us he holds his arm up like slightly behind him, and just like a wreath of flames expand from his arm.
From the already aura that's there.
Yeah. For a giant flame blade.
Taylor.
I watch too much anime.
So those goblins are running away out there in the corner, right?
Correct. They are all, at the moment, dashing away.
Hale's gonna put his hand up in the air and charge a fireball.
Oh no.
All right.
Okay, for reference, I did say I don't think we need to kill them, so.
That's fine. That's his choice.
Yep. Just
so
making
where
sure that-
are you putting the point?
Oh, I'm just charging it up. It's for show.
Okay, so you're okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, he starts to hold it above his head, ready to throw.
Basically, like if
He's
you
just
fuck
charging that
around,
spirit
I am
bomb.
fireballing you.
You're
It's
free
kind of
thying?
Yeah.
Probably should not have done that into the mic. Sorry if
Nope.
You don't
there
like-
go my ears.
sorry.
What?
What?
Another one gets further away, and then it is Torque. Your turn. You are currently standing at the edge. Not sure why you're way bigger than you normally are, but you are now. And
Would he
these
even
two
think
are
about that as
absolutely
in his
worshiping. That's up to him. But,
So, because he is raging in the way that his rage kind of works for him mechanically, I did go ahead and roll just a general intelligence check to see if he's, keeping reasonable cognizant function, because he went into this rage with a purpose as opposed to his natural instinct of self-defense. And it was a 12, so I think that's, more skewed towards still higher cognition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, recognizing that he's a lot bigger, and these two are basically worshipping him as they're doing similar things to what others in his tribe had done when they heard the spirit talker speak. He's just gonna slowly reach down with one of his now hands and pat the one that's kneeling and kind of say in Goblin, "Stay still, not killed."
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And he'll just turn to face everyone else with those two behind him.
So I will ask before I get. We'll get to a couple more here. Another disengage. Retribution, your turn.
I will turn my head, look at Torque.
He's
like-
huge now.
Yes. I'll like do a double take for a second. Be like, I don't remember being that big, but maybe I'm just forgetting something. Like, okay, that's normal. And then I'm like, Torque, come here. And then I'll just look back at the guy.
Oh, they're just growling at you.
Yes, I understand you perfectly.
One is going to run away. Is not going to disengage from you. You can attack if you want.
No.
I think all of us have pretty much decided.
I'll just like pat him on the head as he's running away.
So that was going to be my next question. As these things are running away, are any of you going to continue to attack or try to kill these things?
No. I not.
Big boy's the only one I care about.
All right. He does
I'll
not seem to be wanting to get away. Trying to get away.
The temptation is there, but I will not.
we need informants.
Yeah, I think the only one that we would actually like try to like stop from running away would be Roby.
Right. So, we'll end combat there. And the other goblins, they just take off south, and they all just kind of in this band just are booking it as fast as they can. The two that you left, they wait until you move over to the big guy. If you do, Torque.
Yeah, he'll go ahead and do that. Before he does go, he would kind of turn, would like talk if possible, and then just basically just jump over.
Someone's going to think there's a fucking dinosaur over here because he's going to be leaving these footprints. Jurassic Park and the shit. When you get over there, you can kind of like see as you look behind you that they get up and run after their other people the moment you're away from them.
Fair.
And
I would too.
And
So
they...
as he walks towards them, he's gonna just like slowly reduce in size as I remove concentration. And when I get a chance, when you let it, I'd like to cast Comprehend Languages.
Are you spending the spell slot on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so you cast that, and the understanding kind of flows through you as the magic takes hold.
Mhm.
And yeah, so you guys kind of, I'm guessing, all surround this guy, this weird creature,
Yes.
which I can give a little bit of a look at in my screen.
Hold on, let me DM zoom it. That is really cool, but disturbing.
Cute.
Mm.
You got me.
Horrifying. And it's just sitting there, long, like talon-like nails, these weird tentacles writhing all over its body with these two big ones coming out of its, like, the back of its shoulder blades. And it just kind of sits there, just yeah.
All right.
What do you do?
Tark will take a moment to breathe, and you see his tail shrink, and the long, spiky bone protrusions just kind of slowly retract into his tail. And he's just gonna look at this tentacle guy and in Goblin. Why make trouble? Breakfast time.
I must stop all of you from destroying my master's plans.
I have the translation, Torque. I can understand right now. So you just focus on asking questions.
I'll just nod.
So I'm gonna reiterate what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I walked up behind him, still holding the fireball above my head.
He's just kind of like watching all of you. It doesn't seem like the tentacles are kind of like moving, following with you, but his head never really turns.
What does its master plan?
Do you ask him that, Torque?
What is master goal?
I can't tell you. That would be giving away the master's secrets.
Why need secret?
Even though I can't understand him, does he seem like he's like just look-wise withholding stuff?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, I should probably do that too as well. Since I can actually understand.
Natural 20 for 26.
La-di-da. No. I got an 18.
Alright, give you a second to text you.
Oh, sweet. Actual text or Discord?
I'm gonna text Skylar and then I'll Discord you, man.
I mean, you could just send it to us in a group text or something. You do have my number. Secrets. If only we had a sponsor that we could promote at this time.
We might be able to soon. I'm not gonna say
You
it.
guys talk about bananas.
Sheeran got a lot better over this over these few months.
My fire just burns brighter now.
Hmm.
I'm going to put the flame blade up to his throat as he's being questioned.
Alright. You see the tentacles kind of wriggle a little bit as he kind of like moves away from the heat a bit, but doesn't move away from you. And you hear you hear him say in Goblin, "Okay, I'll talk."
Torque will nod,
Mhm.
like sagely, but also kind of say in Goblin, "Do speak common. You don't want to be mouthpiece."
My master was summoned here, and there is something here that keeps him tethered to this plane. We can't allow anyone to interact with it or destroy it, so we must protect it. And we had to stop any of you from getting too close.
All right. So that's definitely being reiterated.
Just looking at these guys, do they seem to have anything that shows like that black crystalline stuff, or is that only ever under the skin?
It seems to be only on the skeletons.
All right.
And you can look at like you kind of look over at some of the desiccated bodies, and you can see that there's similar blackish obsidian skeletons.
All right.
Gonna make such fancy weaponry out of their bones.
Ooh.
So
Aberration weapons.
I'm gonna look at the others who are sitting by us and say, something's not right here. Keep an eye out for us, okay?
Okay.
Noted.
And if you have any questions.
Still have that feeling, by the way. Specifically, you, Retribution, of that feeling of being watched.
All right, then I'll look around to see if I can see anybody watching me.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
While they go
Yes.
about that, Torque's gonna look at this guy and all his tentacles and ask him in Goblin, "Why you made of worms?"
It is the blessing of the Dalkir.
It was a dirty 20.
Look around. You don't see anyone else in the area. The goblins have all taken off and are out of sight at this point.
All right.
Could you do me a favor and spell that last bit? I'm not sure if your mic cut out or not.
Yeah, 1 second.
Does it hurt like the creature we talked to?
Daelkyr. Dalkir.
Dalkir. Good old Dalky.
Okay, at that, Torque will go ahead and blink a few times and kind of like take a step back and kind of like be wary now.
You okay, Torque?
Bad things. Dragon below. Need drone weapon.
Drone weapon? Oh! Torque, you can speak in your own language. I can understand you too.
Kind of like tilts his head in Draconic. Wait, you understand me?
I
Yes,
understand
magic.
you too. I responded Draconic as well.
Oh, that makes things so much easier.
I can use magic to understand.
I learned this language because I was bored.
I just learned the language of the dragons. It's a fun Saturday.
I lived in a orphanage that was also a church. I had time. So what's going
Torkel turned towards Rhett, seeing her just kind of looking about, and ask, "Want anything asked?"
Hmm.
You could maybe try to see if we can get any information about how far away this master is.
We must be close. They stopped us for a reason. Ask if he knows who's watching us.
Torkel nodded both of their things, and I'm gonna really quickly roll, I think, a wisdom check to try and see if you can like phrase this kind of like intelligently or like cleverly.
Go for it.
Natural 16, which means if intelligence 16, if wisdom higher. If wisdom 17. So I think he's fairly clever on that. So in Goblin, first I'll go ahead and ask, how far away so we can stay away?
I can't tell you that.
Can't stay away if not know where stay away from.
You can't continue the way you went.
Who watching? They know they hurt.
The dog are always watching.
His tail will swish apprehensively.
Now, does this thing look like he is naturally like that, or does he look like an experiment similar to like the double-faced goblins, squirrels, and all that jazz?
Similar, but better constructed. Obviously, he seems more intelligent. His body seems to be more naturally transformed. It might seem so, but it is horrifying at the same time. So you wouldn't really count it as natural.
Well, you know, aberrations are fucking weird, anyways.
Indeed. Make a nature check, Merrick.
Me?
Yes, as you're kind of looking him over.
And Torkel will just kind of like respond to Red.
17.
Not being helpful.
As you hear this, you notice that there's a couple of features on him, in like the ears and somewhat of the shape of the head and the teeth, similar features to hobgoblins, almost.
All right. Would make sense with everything else.
But then, yeah, Torkel says
Is
that it's something
master
helpful.
make wing thing? And he's just gonna like pull out one of the bones from the flying horror.
Yeah, I was gonna see if he could ask that too.
You see it kind of look in the direction, and
There are more where that came from. I promise you that.
Not need come this way. No send that way.
You are troublesome to communicate with.
I?
Though you seem to be the most intelligent out of all of these
Nope, it's South. Never mind.
creatures.
Researcher. Study lots different types.
Shioran heard that. You all just see Shioran's eyebrow. Boink. Huh? And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and reiterate that.
I'm gonna push the flame blade just a little bit closer to his skin.
You can't continue south. That is forbidden.
By the way, this fireball's getting really hot.
Did you?
Torkel look at everyone.
Not really want kill him, but is part of problem. He says send wing things.
Bjorn, did you relay that?
Yeah, I've relayed
he doesn't want us
everything.
to go south. Okay. So while they've been talking, I would just be focusing on the being watched feeling, kind of. But once Shioran said, "Don't go south," I'd be like, perhaps we should just continue south with him in tow.
That's what I was thinking.
I dissipate the fireball.
Shioran says that while pulling out some ropes.
Let's
Like
see,
holding rope as you're looking at this thing full of tentacles.
I think you could tie him up with his own.
his own tentacles.
I mean, if they're there for a
Kyle,
purpose, it's just
Kyle
not what he was
tentacles up in a
expecting.
knot.
Need skewer on hook. Worm wriggle. If tie.
Very
Shioran
true.
looks at her trident. What?
What?
Sean is like, you telling us to skewer this guy?
I mean, I won't say no. Let me see
Just
if I-
mean
Let me see if I have any.
worm
I have
now.
arrows.
tie right.
I have arrows. I could just like break off a few arrowheads and maybe we can like make some hooks.
Well, wait, what are the hooks doing? I'm a little confused.
His tentacles are problematic according to Torque. Because if you tie them, he can just wriggle out and
Oh, that makes more sense.
Well, you
So
know,
if we-
Torque's actually gonna go ahead now and just actually like touch the guy and his tentacles and just kind of like get a feel. Are they like mucousy, slimy? What are they like?
The skin of this creature is rough, but it has a bit of a sheen to it. And if you touch him, he just kind of like flinches away from you. But if you try one of the tentacles, it basically is just like you kind of like grab it. It's just kind of like wriggling away from your grasp. He doesn't necessarily move himself.
Hard. Tie. Grab.
I'm just looking through the stuff I have and see if I can help that in any way.
like I said, I just have arrows.
So he said that we need to skewer the tentacles. That's what he was saying?
Let's just put
If
him
that's
in
what
a
you want to
bedroll
interpret out of
and
how
then tie the
what he's saying,
bedroll.
yeah. I think a firm part of Torque is the language barrier.
Let's just shove him in the sleeping bag and tie that.
That might work.
Torque will go
Yeah.
ahead and hold out his
Is there-
bedroll that he
is-
doesn't use.
We're tying him up.
All we need to do is keep his head out.
There's 6 of us. And 1 of him. We could just...
In Goblin,
just
Torque will
bump
just
him on
say,
the
holding
head.
the sleeping bag.
Kindly get
Eye tentacles.
sack.
Well, Torque, you're carrying it.
You putting him in the sleep bag and tying him up?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be terribly hard.
Keep his
He
head
doesn't-
out. But
He doesn't make it easy, but he also doesn't necessarily fight you.
He's got that just dead weight kind of thing, not actively
Yeah.
resisting, just passively.
Yeah. And you eventually, over the course of probably about 10 minutes or so, get him in the bag, and then you tie it up nice and tight, and now he's just kind of prone on the ground with most of his tentacles all like pressed in, but he's still got the ones like on his head and the 2 coming out of his eyes wiggling out.
So, do we go then?
yeah, I guess we should.
You pick up the
Wait, before go, where snake heart want pretty skin?
You go over and the dead snake frog creature is still in the trap. So you
Yeah, we can grab that.
grab that.
Yeah, he'll go ahead and take that, and he'll go ahead and take the body that Shauna used as a landing pad with as well.
With the one that I killed that's really close to where we are currently, can I investigate that body just to kind of see how similar it is to everything else?
One of the other goblin bodies.
Yeah, the one that I killed with the
Oh.
Scorching Ray.
Yeah, it is scorched and burnt, and none of its skeleton is exposed, but it's definitely a weird.
I'll
there's no-
I'll take a dagger and expose the skeleton.
You cut open a bit, and it looks like the interior is again that gray, soupy kind of liquid oozes out, and its skeleton is that same obsidian-looking material.
Can I make a Arcana check to see if that obsidian material is similar to the black crystals that were in the Aclutes?
Sure.
While he's doing that,
19.
You can tell that this is different. That the black crystals that were inside the Aclutes were what seemed to be corrupted Kyber crystals.
Yeah, my whole
These
point
are
was
some sort of something else.
I guess I was just trying to figure out if maybe somebody was found a way to repurpose a Kyber crystal and change it, which is good that that's not what it is, because that would be terrifying.
while he's doing that, I would like to ask the group: does anyone know anything about the Derval? That's the right word, right? That's what.
Dalekir.
Delkir. Excuse me. Does anyone know anything about the Delkir?
Dalkir.
Delkir?
Okay.
I
Can
can
I-
make a check.
I can make a check too. Yeah.
Make a history check.
Culturally, would Torque have advantage on that?
Yes.
I'm not
I-
getting any
16
a
with no additions.
history check.
History. I have a 18.
So 18. You said 16, Merrick.
I have a 8.
17 for Torque.
17 for Torque. Let me just roll for Shauna's proficient, so I'll roll for her. Unfortunately, I rolled a 3. One time I roll actually shit for her. So
Hey, better here than in battle.
yeah, Torque and actually, yeah, Torque, Merrick, and Sharon, you are, and I know, not Sharon, Kale.
Yeah.
The three of you have heard of the Dalkir. They are creatures that are spoken about in horrifying tales of times before the war. And they are strange creatures from what is to be said from another realm. And they had another name, the group of them. They were the Lords of Madness. It was said that they led some sort of horde of monsters from another realm that kind of unleashed it on the land, but were driven back. And somehow, I'm not quite sure, there's varying theories to varying stories, but they were somehow sealed away. And haven't been seen in a long, long time.
Wow.
I actually will say, with yours, Torque, being a little bit more knowledgeable, you are aware of a group of individuals known as the Orc Gatekeeper Druids that had some sort of hand in their banishment. Though you have no details on exactly how, you're just aware of the group that they're associated with it.
Really? Druids had a hand in this.
Old tale. Not sure. Real.
Fair.
Probable.
We're all talking while we're walking, by the way.
Yeah. And as you guys pick up the creature and start to carry it along with you, heading south, with a lot of strange happenings in just the first few hours of the day, we'll take a quick break here. So we will just come back at the top of the hour.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. All right. Sounds like this is a bigger story than we expected. All right. I have burrito. Also, I need to start exercising tomorrow. I think my back is getting worse. Alright. How's everyone doing who might be here? Well, while I have the time, without the others, I've actually decided I'm gonna stop doing the VODs for my, or the archive for my games on that I stream on Twitch, on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep doing NotProVOs, but the games that I stream are not gonna be there. And I'm actually gonna start working on something else, another project. I'm actually gonna make videos as a YouTuber for. So that's a thing.
Awesome.
Yep, I should have waited longer for that. Oops. Weird. Alright. That sounds like a good time to swap over to this for the Lofi. I can swap back once we get back into the game. I'm also going to be doing some different music systems on OBS when I move to that too. Like I said, I've learned a lot. I have a bunch of plans. Not all of them are going to be doable, but, you know, might as well shoot for the star and try and do them. The overlay format with the red and the blue and those things, that's pretty much going to be the same. Just some minor tweaks and stuff like that, because I actually really like the way we do that. It's just mostly behind the scenes stuff. And a few visual updates too. All right. I'm just looking over my spells, and apparently I haven't cast any of my 3rd level spells, which is good. I can use that in the final battle. Excuse me. You know what? I never use my inspiration. I really didn't feel like I needed to, because, like, it didn't feel like they wanted to fight. That's a lot of goblin creatures that are just running away. Welcome back, Zangetsu.
That's a small handful of them.
Just a small handful.
Remind me to ask when Scott gets back about how many javelins / spears they had, because Torque needs those for ranged weaponry. And today I did get cheese.
Cheese. I had a sausage, egg, and cheese burrito, so that's kind of the same thing.
However, unlike Torque, I'm also drinking tonight because I can do that because I'm an adult. I'd like to remind all of you watching in chat to please practice safe drinking in dungeons, or dungeons and drinking. Either way.
Not gonna lie, for a second there, I thought you were about to cut yourself and like do a blood pact or something. And I was like, please don't do that on my stream.
No, just get that cheese cutting going on.
Okay, yeah.
Here, let me go ahead and put that on cam to make sure everyone's fears are, you know, assuaged.
Yeah, no, I figured it out as you pressed down on it that you were, yeah. But for a second, I was like, why is he putting that knife up to his wrist? Like, to be fair, Zangetsu, I don't care if you do.
Cam.
Say what?
Cheese cam.
Cheese cam. Cheese. To be fair, I don't care if
with
you
this
do
lovely cheese. We've also got a pack of Ritz crackers.
Yum. I don't care if you do blood rituals. Just, you know, not on stream.
Then why even do them?
No, I haven't done blood rituals in a good long time. Now I'm into something darker.
I came back to a weird part of this conversation.
Yeah.
I've done blood rituals in a while.
Okay. Do you want an explanation, or do you want to keep it out of context?
Absolutely not. I like to be out of context.
Not explaining. Yeah.
You can get it when you watch the stream later, or the archive later.
About how long have we been traveling with this guy, so I can mark that on the calendar?
Depends on if you guys wanted to do anything during the travel.
I did. I want to have a small conversation with Torprana.
Okay.
Probably not a big one, but you know.
So do
Yeah,
I, though.
and to that point, I also wanted to ask, of the charred goblins and the murdered ones by Shauna, how many javelins or spear-sized javelins are on this battlefield?
You probably make 3 if you took the time. Because you collect the
I meant out
stuff.
of like their weaponry themselves, but
Oh.
I mean,
from what's left that didn't get carried away with them, probably about like 5.
okay, yeah, he'd definitely take those two.
I want
They're
cheese now.
shoddy, but
Yeah, they've only got to hit once.
Smart.
I might be overanalyzing this. But I have a feeling that you have like hoarder tendencies that you just kind of like fulfill in game without actually being a hoarder.
Oh, I absolutely do.
To be fair, I would do that if I was a ranger, like be a hoarder type character. That's my plan. If I ever play a ranger, they're gonna hoard like crazy.
I had a rogue in my
A hoarding
party
ranger
did
is
that.
a prepared ranger.
So are you going to make a part of the whole?
Sure.
You were really had a rogue that would do that. He literally would pick up every piece of equipment from every enemy that they killed, and he's like, "Well, sell it for money later." It's like, Yeah, but that's really tedious for me to have to figure out what every single one of them has on them at all times.
Yeah. It is, but you know, you can either find something fun. You can also keep a trophy, or you can just like sell it for scrap metal later.
Gotta fill that 500 pounds of the bag of holding somehow, Scott.
I guess.
And to answer your question, Brian, yeah, that would probably be a good idea.
I think we're gonna do it.
Your voice is really far away. Probably your mic's up on your head.
Yeah, it's up. It's up. Thank you for reminding me. I would have never known.
All right. I think we're all good then.
All right. Let me just swap out the music before I forget again.
I'm sorry, everyone that tuned in for Cheese Cam. That segment is now over. We will now be returning to
It's a real
High
bummer.
Stakes Dungeons and Dragons.
Can't have the cheese can for too long. It's against the Twitch DOS.
Sorry, we're back to the filler shit now.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know
y'all.
nobody's here for this content.
Everyone's here for the cheese.
Yes. We started with cheese, we end with cheese, you know.
All right. So we're traveling along, and I want to turn to, while I still have the comprehend languages up, I just want to turn to Torque and say, so what was that you said you research about?
You're promptly interrupted by this thing on his shoulder going.
I'll just bonk him on the head.
I'm sorry. that gives me such a good mental image. So what did you... So what did you say you were researching?
Tor kind of blinks like, study people.
People? You can speak in your own language.
Yes, study people. I like to watch them, not like so much. It's comforting. They said I have a knack for it.
Interesting.
Was able to pick up languages very quickly. Only takes about a day actually watching them to get rough handle. After that, harder, but can be making myself understood a little better.
It's actually very impressive. That's
He again
Cal-
blinks. Is like, right, you can speak hiss.
Yes. Yep. I can.
Torque's gained a buddy. Alright. So I guess I learned a little. I don't really have much questions to ask of that, so we can just have like small chit chat of while we travel.
I think I actually speak 6 languages.
Nice.
As you all continue down south, the barrenness of the land kind of begins to continue in that fashion where it's just more rocks than grass and gravel. And you travel along for a good most of the rest of the day. And as you get closer to night, you start to see something off in the distance as the sun is going down and it's starting to get dark. You can see along the coast that there seems to be a bit of light coming from somewhere past the cliff face. As you get closer, the creature on your shoulder starts to kind of like wriggle a little bit.
You are all going to your death.
Won't be the first
Quiet.
time.
You. He says we're going to death.
It seems like something we have to deal with. Because no one else knows about it, I guess. If left unchecked, it could probably cause major problems for not just Thalespar, but for all of the world.
You head in that direction further, and it gets to be nighttime to where you normally would bunker down. That whatever this light is still a ways off. It's just kind of like off the faint part of the horizon.
Torque, put him in the bottom of your hole.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'd probably help Torque dig a deep hole for him to stay in.
No water bed tonight, then. Sad. It was comfortable.
We can just watch him while you have another bed, I guess.
It's fine. Comfort on road, fleeting, means more if rare.
Right.
I almost set up my tent.
I will use where is it at? Prestidigitation to warm like 15 feet. Or no. 1 cubic foot. So like a couple feet worth of stone. So that Torcrana can have like a heated stone like lizards like. So that at least the first hour of his rest can be comfortable.
At your instruction of, hey, check out this hot spot, and you just kind of pat the ground to like show him the hot rock. As he touches it, you do see his tail swish very happily.
It'll only last about an hour, but should help you fall asleep.
And I guess I missed that. What are you doing with the creature?
We're putting him in a hole.
So you're like digging one down.
Yeah.
So he's like that, or is he laying flat?
Yeah, we're digging one down and burying him up to his neck.
My idea was for Torque to sleep on top of him. But either way.
Like
I like
a
the
long
burying
trench,
one
and
better.
then Torque just kind of like lays on top of him in a kind of way, you know?
So is that what you're doing? You're laying on top of him? Okay. How heavy is Torque?
Oh no, we're gonna smush
He only weighs 285 pounds.
Yeah, that's
he's fine.
nothing.
He's fine.
Considering he's 7 feet tall, that is remarkably lean.
Yeah. Now you you lay him down and you start to lay on top of him, and he starts like he's not enjoying it and not making it easy for you to get relaxed.
Bonk on the head.
I'm busy setting up.
I'll
my
kind of
tent.
scrape some of the dirt like over him,
It's a
kinda like giving him like a little dirt blanket rather than like burying him.
He's definitely going to struggle as you're trying to get comfortable, and it's a lot of shaking and moving and whatnot, and it's not gonna be conducive to getting a full long rest.
Luckily,
That's
he's got
fine.
that
Dork only
heated rock.
used one rage, and he wasn't hurt today, so I mean he can go without. I'm confident in the con save to resist exhaustion.
Right. We're gonna make this a contested Constitution check. Because those aren't always used.
not super great on the die. I shouldn't have jinxed myself. Only a 4 on the die, but with his 7 for con saves, that's 11.
He rolled an 11 and gets a +1.
Wow.
So he is able to, like, he is just wriggling and struggling and just like making this, and it's really annoying, like, Russ, get off, throughout the night. And so not as only is it, what's up?
Can I just go over there and just give him a good punch to the head and attempt to knock him out?
Wait. Before you do that, I wanted to go over and like look at him dead in the eyes and be like, shut up. I'm gonna roll intimidation.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna look at Torque and be like, they have to believe you're gonna hurt them for this to work. And then like I rolled a natural 20 +7, 27.
All right. He is struggling and screaming and just making all this noise, and Retribution comes over, and you kind of like look up at her as she gets over you, Torque, and she just, shut up. And even you're kind of like, whoa. And there's just this, like, you can tell that it's the thing that Retribution is fully willing to just kill this thing. And it kind of...
I'll just like lightly pat it on the head and go back to my tent. I'll flick it.
I guess no punch needed then.
Well, I was gonna say you can do that after if I failed.
Sure, you're just like getting out of your blanket, like, oh, this is annoying. But you'd see Retribution stalk over there before you, and then kind of quiets down from there. And the rest of the night, still not restful for you, Torque, but he's not like screaming and yelling. He's just more like moving and constantly trying to readjust himself under you.
Yeah, he's wriggling like a bed of worms.
Yeah, essentially. But a lot worse. And you guys get through Is there anything anyone wanted to do during the night?
Torque would want to do craftsman on the one goblinoid that he did bring with him throughout the day. I'm not sure what I would want to make though, and
you could definitely make a javelin if you wanted out of his bones.
I'm kind of thinking more about just making a club out of like one of his leg bones.
Works too.
So yeah, he's just got this really pretty club now.
Make a shillelagh.
If possible, on Merrick's watch, while he's, keeping an eye on things, I want to study that obsidian material, if I can.
Sure. Make a investigation check for me.
I go over to Torque as well.
Alright, I rolled a 12, but I'm going to use a sorcery point to re-roll that.
Alright.
16.
Okay. What were you gonna do, Kale?
I was gonna ask him in Draconic, it's like, hey, you wanted me to decode some of the skulls or something, right?
He like pauses like mid carve of this goblinoid's leg with his claws. Eggshells. Life
Right.
think. Rune magic.
I'll take a look at it for you.
Be careful. Potion treated, but still old. And he'll just hand over one of the larger fragments of his eggshell from when he was a wee babby.
Make a Arcana check for me, Kale.
As soon as I find my d20, there it is. That is a natural 20.
All right. So first off, we're gonna go to Merrick with his investigation of the bones. As you guys are both kind of studying off on your own particular thing. Merrick, what you find is the bone is a bit not quite as brittle as actual obsidian, but it has a bit of like an odd resonance to it. As you're kind of feeling it, it's smooth, it's got ridges and whatnot, and it has the shape of bone, but it has a sheen to it, black. It feels kind of cold to the touch, not to the point of like actual like, oh god, it hurts or freezing or anything, but it just has a bit of a cooler feel to it. And at one point you kind of ding it on something metal near you or stone, and it has kind of like an odd warbly kind of sound to its vibration instead of a normal like ding.
Does it seem to have any arcane properties?
Not anything in the sense of magical properties, but you can definitely tell that whatever created this definitely probably was. That whether it was intentional or a byproduct, you're not sure. I've never seen anything like this, unfortunately. But it definitely is. It seems to be that whatever this material is new, and not sure what exactly it means, but and then you can see, as you look over, you can see Torque creating this like club out of one of the bones.
He's also going to wrap the handle in just a part of the skin from the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Good touch.
Kale, as you are glancing over this, it's not complete, as it is only a fraction of the shell itself, but you look at the runes and they are in a form of celestial, and they have from what you can gather, you have read certain things on this when you were studying celestial and try to learn it as a language, and it's got something to do with awakening potential, or the word, that the glyph that's used for it there has a number of meanings: potential, knowledge, intellect. It has a number of different facets. It's not a straight translation, but it is, the glyphs have something to do with awakening the potential inside of whatever the runes are used on. You're not sure what the purpose was, but that's what you get out of the runes itself.
Interesting. I make a note of my translation and the ambiguous meaning of the words of the glyph. And then I hand the eggshell back to Torque with the translation.
You do also, it's fascinating. You're not exactly sure, you can't glean just from looking at it how it was done, but these glyphs don't seem to have been placed on this eggshell with tools. It almost looks like this eggshell was made this way, but you could definitely tell that it was purposeful. So that doesn't make sense how an egg could have those on its shell, but it definitely seems it's as close to naturally inlaid on the egg as it could be.
Okay. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I also relay that information to Torque as well.
He's just testing the club with the beaten, broken body of this goblinoid. When you come over with the eggshells, and he stops mid-smash.
The loud.
Egg think gets more complicated now.
I'd say so.
Wonder what grandfather would say.
And
Yeah,
just
well-
goes ahead and smashes one more time.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to get a second opinion. Maybe they could find some additional subtext.
Grandfather gone. Anniversary few days ago.
Sorry. But I do know some people that could also help. Maybe they have a bit more handle over the language.
Thank you, Helper Kale.
I hand it back to him. And I go and sit by Shorn.
Yorin is currently kind of meditating with the stars a little bit. So she's got her eyes glossed over with the starry lights.
So I'm just gonna sit by there. I'm not gonna speak much.
Okay.
Is Retribution doing anything besides tend and sleep?
I'll do stuff after I sleep. Assume I get my full 4 hours.
What'd you do?
And I still feel like we're being watched, right?
Correct. It's even worse now.
Okay, yeah. So, after I get my sleep, I will just like kind of come out of my tent and just kind of sit just like out in the open and just kind of like focus on the feeling because I'm just more curious about it than anything else. So
it's one of those things where like it's gotten worse. You can kind of, you swear when you turn around you can almost see someone there, and you listen, you don't hear any movement, but it's just that feeling you can't shake. But now that you're closer, you can definitely tell that there's almost a direction to the feeling, like it's coming from the south, in the direction you guys are going.
Quick question. There's still like a lack of plants here, right?
Yeah, it's mostly rock and gravel at this point. It's not very comfortable to sleep on.
Okay.
I prop myself up against a tree.
All right. And there's nothing specific that anyone else wants to do during the night. It passes without any incident. But the more perceptive ones of the group on their watch do see similar creatures to the goblins off in the distance. Maybe you see one kind of like pop up from the ground for a second and then pop back down. But never get within 300 feet of you guys.
Oh, I think I get it now.
And but you wake up unaccosted. It's a gray day, completely overcast, and windy. You wake up with a pretty strong just coming in from the ocean.
How close is the ocean?
You guys are maybe a few hundred yards away from the cliffside.
Not that far. Does it seem like it would be as devoid of life as the rest of the place?
The ocean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really tell. You're too far away from the cliff, and
Okay.
then the cliff itself is. You ever been along the coast in California, or
No.
seen along there?
I've never been to California.
It's very similar to that kind of coast where you're a decent way up from the actual the sea level when you're going along the coast.
Okay.
So
diving in would be a bad idea.
yeah, yeah.
Unless you're a goldfish.
That also sounds like a bad idea. I could be a goldfish.
Do it.
Nah.
Do it.
We'll call you a she-fish.
I'm the only one in this group who has identified, or excuse me. Well, no, actually, Cal might have revivify too.
Revive.
Riv. Yep.
Yep. Life energy.
Yeah, that.
You guys continue
Control Z.
continue going south. Now you're more going closer to like a southwestern direction than pure south.
How's our extra companion acting?
Wriggling, pissed off, and very noisy.
I'm gonna look at him and use unsettling presence.
All right. Remind me again what and there's no save. It just happens. What is it that they get?
As an action, you can unsettle a creature you can see within 15 feet of you. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes within the next minute. Constructs, undeads, and creatures that can't be frightened are immune to this feature.
All right.
More so just to like spook him.
Explain to me how you do your unsettling presence. What is unsettling about you?
I'll look over at him, and the fire that's in the back of my eyes will intensify and almost take over the entire iris of my eye, and my flames will kind of like flicker. My hair will, and I'll open my mouth, and just a little bit of smoke will blow out of my mouth as some sparks flicker in the back of my throat. And I'll just give him that like deep, deep stare.
You look in his direction and you do this. It's almost like he doesn't notice. He's not like looking back, not trying to be tough or anything. It's almost like he just doesn't notice.
Alright. Does he just keep flailing then?
A little bit, yeah.
Alright. I'll make note of that.
Make a insight check for me.
Can do. That is going to be a 23.
23. So you can definitely tell. Can you see my camera?
Yes.
Let me.
That with that, you can definitely tell and kind of confirms your thought process on it. Thing doesn't have any eyes. It can obviously sense where people are somehow, but you probably can confirm with yourself at that point. Can't see you.
All right.
Nug and Kale are both fighting the temptation to figure out if thaumaturgy can change the color of Merrick's hair.
It is not natural fire, but you can try.
You can if you want to.
I mean, we found out it can be dyed, so why not, right?
I'm just going to wait for the right opportune moment to try. If he gets angry, I'm going to try to turn it blue.
You guys continue along the coast. The wind is blasting. At this point, it almost kind of seems to get worse as the day goes on. You're having to kind of like, every once in a while, a gust will hit, and one of you kind of like stumble off to the side. Not enough to like bowl you guys over, but it's pretty windy. Clothes are flapping, winds just going everywhere. With anyone who has longer hair, Retribution, you're having some issue as like bits of your hair is getting like tangled in your horns, and Sharon, your hair is just like is a mess at this point with how frizzy it gets.
Oh, so the braids are not holding up.
Wait, the part, if you have it all braided, then yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely
helps. As much as I can get anyway.
Mm-hmm. And Merrick's hair looks like it's a candle in the wind. It's not flickering out, but it's just like...
It's the mental image of that is great.
I really hope it doesn't break my hair. Like tear off pieces of it.
We'll use mending.
I do have mending. Does that count as an object?
I mean, kind of.
Sorry, my hair is breaking.
But I'd be mending it to a non-object, to a creature.
I'd say sure. Why not?
Well, your hair is dead.
You mend your split ends.
So.
Okay. So
what wonderful innovations Eberron has for magic.
Now that we've established that, you all see her mending
every
mending in the every morning. She mends her hair every morning just to make sure it's all nice and pretty. That's a new establishment.
Yeah. You guys go on for about half the day continuing this way, and as you guys get closer, you notice that they're now in front of you, hiding behind boulders, running ahead, and whatnot, seem to be more of these goblinoid type of creatures. And they don't seem to be attacking. They just seem to be watching. They're not the greatest at stealth. So you obviously pick up on them, but they just seem to be kind of following your progress, staying ahead of where you guys are. Till what you see ahead of you is a definite change to the landscape. You see a few cracks in the surface of the landscape at first, bits and pieces where you see like holes and divots and grooves and whatnot that lead almost to this kind of ravine at one point, but then it deepens and widens out as you get closer, and you can see that there is this massive fissure in the side of this cliff that goes on from where you guys are, continuing south in this kind of massive V into the side of the cliff that spreads out to the point where you could probably guess it's about a mile across at its widest at the far end of the cliff itself. And you get your first glimpse of a mass as you look into the chasm itself, and you can see along the walls that deeper in, further down itself, all the way down to what looks to be where the ocean floor would be, there are innumerable amount of what look to be buildings and structures that are built into the sides of each of the walls, that you can see balconies and parts of buildings, and it's all just built inward into the cliffs. And it's a massive structure that is built in here, and you can't see much from this, like what's going on in there. You can just you get your first glimpse as you look over the edge into the chasm itself.
There might be a lot more than we thought.
Torkel kind of like jostle Mr. Worms up on his shoulder. Live here?
Welcome to your doom.
They live here. Or close.
Well, is there like a path into it, or?
Not that you can see.
How do they get in?
The closest structure to you is probably a good 300-400 feet down.
Don't think that many arm hurt climb, but maybe dig.
Actually, that makes sense. And now I feel dumb for asking that question.
You can see as you look over the edge that there seems to be some sort of a number of rivers that are coming from somewhere underground that are pouring off in sections down into deeper parts of this crevice city, and dumping into where you can't quite see from your vantage point, but you can see and hear numerous waterfalls.
Torkel again kind of addressed Mr. Worms.
You not going to be very helpful information anymore.
Kind of looks at you.
Riveting.
He'll kind of like just drop him to the ground.
He'd not say much anymore. What do?
Can we just get like a deeper scan of the area?
Yeah, sure. Make a perception and an investigation.
Can I like just stab the guy?
Sure.
Like no, like that's Kale asking everyone else.
Oh,
Okay.
22 perception and 15 investigation.
He doesn't. If he's not going to be much help, and he's so devoted to his master, he probably will be a problem if we just let him go.
I slice his head off.
I wasn't.
is-
Kale, without a hesitation, is like, okay. Woof. And this thing, seeing the blade coming, is just like, and his head just
As golf swings him through Torque's sleeping
Pretty much.
bag.
Pretty much. Sorry.
The
No,
head
it's fine.
kind of,
He doesn't use it. It's just another sack to him.
the head just kind of rolls a bit, hits into one of like the little crevices, and then starts rolling down, and eventually rolls off the edge into the chasm itself, and you just see it just as its like tentacles from its head are just kind of wiggling with it as it passes into the abyss.
She was just like she just has her finger out, just like mid statement, and now she's just watching the head roll, and she goes, "I think some people are gonna notice that."
Speaking of noticing things, 22 perception, 15 investigation.
For you, Merrick, as you kind of move along the top of the chasm, you look down. You with your investigation, you don't quite know how to get down per se, or anything. But with your perception, you do see that this structure is old, and this has been here for a really long time. Whether these creatures made it or not, it seems unlikely that they did. The style is very reminiscent to very old texts that you've read at your home, and it reminds you of, we'll just say it doesn't remind you of anything these creatures, like aberrations, would build. So this definitely doesn't seem to be their type of style. The other thing you do notice is that on a number of the balconies are these strange looking plants that are set up in along the perimeter of a lot of the buildings. They are black and green with these red flowers on them, and the waterfalls that are draining down are hitting these sections of the wall that are kind of jutting out at different intervals, and they seem to be purposely set there as the water hits them and kind of gets splayed out, and you see it almost creates this like raining type of atmosphere below it.
Oh, hey,
and
raid. Sorry.
And it kind of creates this mist that just kind of permeates the area below it, and a number of these plants reside down there, but you can see that they're in other parts of the crevice city as well.
I'll relay that to everybody. Merrick's thoughts on it.
You do also notice that you don't see enough to see detail. A number of the windows and some of the closer buildings that you can see, you do see motion. Whether they've noticed you or not, you're not sure, but you do notice motion.
I'll point the motion out to everyone.
Something tells me they know we're coming. No. Sneaking wouldn't be a thing.
Something tells me they've known we're coming.
Mm-hmm.
How well you all climb?
I have a climbing kit, but only one.
I can
Any
be an animal that climbs well.
dig?
I could dig too.
Take
Only as good as my
lunch.
body will let me, I guess.
Can help climb better, but need time to focus.
I'm not very strong, but I'm dexterous, so I can maybe find a way down.
How far down is like the closest building that's like sticking out of the thing?
It's about 300 feet down.
Double checking my features for wild shape.
The rock wall above that is rough, and filled with holes and handholds here and there, maybe little parts you might be able to stand on, but it would be a slow process trying to climb down.
Out of character, Torque's basically saying if we take a short rest, he can switch to having a climbing speed.
Well, we might as well.
As you guys are all kind of sitting around at first, kind of discussing and figuring out what you want to do, you hear this very low kind of roar come from somewhere in the city, and it just kind of like echoes out. Can't quite pinpoint where it comes from. It just kind of echoes out of the crevice itself. Doesn't seem like it's getting closer or anything. You just hear it, and it's just very unnerving.
The feeling of being watched, is it more like concentrated now? Like tell better where it's coming from?
It's coming from below you.
Okay, then I'm just gonna keep looking down.
Is that mostly centered on her, or do we all kind of feel it?
You all kind of feel the being watched. She's just been concentrated on it a little bit more. It's more, at this point for the rest of you, unless you say otherwise, it's more one of those things where it's like somebody puts their finger on you and presses into your arm. You notice it, but after a while you'll kind of desensitize to the feeling of it. It's still there. You're not like oblivious to it, but she's been concentrating on keeping track of it specifically, so.
can I do a history check or arcana check to see if there's anything in Merrick's studies growing up of anything that could cause an effect like that? Or if, because for how long it's lasting, it feels like it's less something actually watching us or like more of a feeling that something's giving us.
Make a history check.
13, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you've read into a number of things that have strange effects on areas and lands, but this could be one of those things. Could be something else. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Anything else anyone wants to specifically do during the short rest?
Torque just goes ahead and swaps over his whatever the hell it's called to climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think this will work.
What is Sheeran doing?
Oh, I'm gonna just be resting. I'm just making plans for once we're ready.
Mm-hmm. So about an hour passes,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you guys do?
So as the hour passes, when Torque finally stands up again, you all notice his claws on his hands are a lot longer, and his largest toe on each of his feet are now like raptor talons.
Interesting.
Alright. I think I've picked what animal I'll be too. I can probably have 1 or 2 people ride on me. By the way, I sent you the stats for it.
Do you turn into that?
Not yet, but I was gonna let them know. So I believe that leaves 1 more person. No, 2, because Shauna's here. That leaves 2 people.
She's a monk. She's fine.
1.
Might just take her a little bit longer to get down.
Me too.
You 2 will climb?
Can take multiple trips.
We could do that, yeah. Although, might leave some people in danger while we're doing that. So,
You should let Shauna and me start. And then follow us down.
okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna hand American Brain, please. I should not be forgetting this name. Kale. The rope I have, the 30 feet. Was it 30 or I think it's 50 feet of rope.
50 feet.
Yeah. So and use this to tie yourself onto me. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to keep a hold of you. And,
Noted.
And then I'm gonna go ahead
Yep.
and shapeshift into a giant riding lizard.
So yeah, within a few seconds, Shioran's shape changes into this large, lizard with these almost kind of like gecko-like pads on its, but it also has a bit of like kind of claws as well. And yeah, it's big enough for a couple of you to ride on.
Mm-hmm.
Torque, seeing this, just kind of like swishes his tail.
Uh-oh.
I have a lizard fight.
Um,
Initiate PvP.
No, thank you. I'm a druid. I don't need to deal with a barbarian in my face.
Shauna will start climbing down, and even without a climbing speed, she's fairly quick. She's moving at about 30 feet around, being careful, so not rushing it. Shauna, with you were in heavy armor?
Oh, sorry, you didn't say my name.
Oh, no, sorry,
Red.
Shauna.
I'm like,
Retribution. Retribution.
yeah, I am.
Okay. So,
I
I
also have a
will.
climber's kit.
You do have a climber's kit. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna have you do a an athletics or an acrobatics, your choice. And I'll give you advantage on the check.
I'll go with athletics. Surprisingly. Okay, well, the first roll I got a natural 20.
There you go.
Plus 8. I'll just
And-
like pat my cart up at the top and then start climbing down.
You both start climbing down, and it's definitely going to take them a bit. And what do you all do while they are climbing down?
Get roped up, I guess.
Aside
Oh,
from
yeah.
roping up, I'm going to just watch them, keep an eye on it for movement, and with my range, counter anything that might come up after them if anything notices them.
Yeah, I'm gonna like tie myself really well to Shioran, and I'm gonna have my bow out.
All right.
Torque's gonna be basically on lifeguard duty, but while climbing for Rhett and Shauna.
Okay, so you're gonna climb down with them.
Yeah, I'll climb down with them. I got climbing speed equal to my walking speed, and I figure it's possible to dash doing that, so I've properly got a climbing speed of 80.
You see
For sure.
Shauna very dexterously going down the cliffside, and you feel at first that Retribution might have a little trouble with their armor, but she seems to be adeptly just finding each foothold, letting herself down, using the climbing kit to pick into the wall, and it's going decently well. It seems to be that they know what they're doing. And about 10 minutes in, at that point, Retribution, you're about halfway down. Shauna has moved almost all the way down at this point. Are you staying in between them, Torque, or are you staying...
I'll stick closer to the one that's lagging behind, just so, like, if it looks like they're gonna take a really big fall, I'll be within range to, like, try and intervene, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, before we continue, whenever I was like starting to climb down, I'd be like, oh shit. I'd be like, Merrick, please tie my chest to a rock so it doesn't blow away.
Okay.
Okay, so we do that before we head down.
Yeah. And then do you guys at this point follow them down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's,
Shioring.
30 feet climbing speed.
Yep. I need Merrick, because Merrick and Kale are the ones tied to you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I need the two of you to make athletics checks. And Shioran, I need you to give me a 25 percentile.
25 percentile.
15.
Athletics.
Yes, athletics.
What's that one? And...
19.
So I just want you to tell me what percentile you want.
Oh, the one that you want. I want. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with 25 to 50.
And then what were your guys' athletics?
19.
19. Merrick.
15 was mine as well.
All right. So as Chiron kind of puts her gecko pads on the wall and starts climbing down, at one point she doesn't lose grip or anything, and the two of you guys are able to hold on to the ropes. It's a bit of a struggle as she goes over the edge, and all of a sudden you're having to like hold yourself on with even tied to her. It's still a bit of a struggle, but you guys are able to hold on. But as you're going down, one of your pads kind of pulls off the rock, and a bit of the rock face itself kind of dislodges and starts tumbling down, and it's heading straight for Retribution and Shauna and Torque. I need, first off, since Retribution is the first one, closest one, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. Not terrible. Because I got my +4. Oh, wait, is that 13? Okay. That's a 19.
All right, you are able to, you kind of hear it kind of like hit part of the wall as it falls down, and you just press yourself really close to the wall, and it zooms past you. Torque, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
I can see this, correct?
Yes, you can see this.
All right, great. Just need to know for danger sense.
Mm-hmm. It's more the animalistic sense at this point. You're like, shit, danger.
Not amazing, but a 13.
So you are able to like move in. You try to like dodge inwards and press yourself in, but you're a bit of a thick monster, and it doesn't quite hit you, but it scrapes along your back and does just a measly like 3 points of slashing damage as it cuts into your back. But I will need you to make a athletics check at disadvantage.
Okay, sure thing.
Whatever lizards sound like, you hear that in a I'm sorry about that tone. Whatever a giant lizard would sound.
Quick question on this.
Mm-hmm.
Does this pertain to my climbing?
You do have a legit climb speed, so I'll give you a normal roll.
It's mostly because with this, you're able to climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check.
Mm-hmm. But this is more this thing hitting
so yeah, just
and
making
not
sure.
letting go.
All right, then I will go ahead and reroll because I don't remember which of
Yeah,
these
I had
came
that
out
one
first.
too.
Excellent. The die stayed the same on the lowest die. That is a 3.
You did a normal roll though, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a total of a 3 for athletics.
Oh, wait, right. With the athletics, that becomes a 9.
9. So, unfortunately, Torque loses his grip, and you guys can see in that moment that he is about to fall.
How far down is he from me?
He is probably about 15 feet from you.
I'm gonna try to grab him. I'm gonna drop myself down because I can go for 25 feet from my anchor point.
Mm-hmm.
Drop down and try to catch him.
Okay.
I'm strong.
Yeah. So you kind of like kick yourself off, and you see Chiron, you see this happen as it dodges past Retribution, hits Torque, and he starts to kind of reel backwards as he starts to fall. Retribution immediately kicks herself off the wall, starts
I'm gonna try to push him into the wall as I'm trying to catch him.
Okay, so
I've
make
got this hilarious image that this happened, and like he tried to press himself to the wall, but the rock scraped along his back, but it did like that ticklish scratch, so he like folded straight up and caused himself to just be hanging by his toes.
Then he
make
cartoonishly realizes it.
yeah.
Holds up a sign. Uh-oh.
Make a acrobatics check for me, Retribution.
Oh no. Let's hope I roll well, because I don't got a very good plus. Oh, okay. That's a 16.
Okay, it's enough. You're able to control your swing down to try to go outwards away from Torque, and you then slam into Torque from behind, going to press you both against the wall. I need you to make an athletics at this point to try to grab on to keep yourself from swinging away and making things worse.
Oh, okay. That's really, really good. 26.
26. All right. Yeah. So it is a flash of judgment and reactionary ability, and you see Retribution just propel herself down, lands, and just plants herself on the opposite side of Torque, and is just kind of like splayed on either side of him, gripping onto a rock. You see just this iron grip on the rock face. And Torque, you are saved from falling to your death.
Wonderful.
Well, that was fun.
As you've got Torque just kind of splayed there, he like eyes go from dinner plates down to slivers, back to normal. He grabs onto the cliff face.
Thank you.
Pat him on the head, and then I will climb back up to be able to get my anchor and stuff and get back into position.
That was impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Shauna's like looking up, and she's, well, that could have been bad. I would have caught you though.
Torque's just the car gecko stick-on toy right now on the cliffside.
It takes you guys maybe another like 10 minutes or so to get all the way down. This time, Sharon, obviously you're a lot more careful. You kind of take your time to get down.
I moved to the side so that if any rocks do fall, they don't hit people.
Yeah. No, I had you pick out a 25% to see if something bad would happen, and I rolled a 47. So,
So I was picking the bad thing.
You're picking the bad thing, so you had more of a chance of something not happening.
Okay. Well, then I should have picked
Right
one.
in that range.
Yeah. So, but you guys are able to get down after that 10 minutes, and it's a bit of a precarious thing because you land and it's this kind of rounded roof that goes down into this kind of gazebo area. But through very careful climbing and working your way down, you guys are able to get down, and with Retribution there with her climbing stuff, you're able to kind of like get a rope hanging down so the people that are climbing can get down and drop into this area. Where you eventually drop
Torque will
into.
stay on the ceiling.
Gotcha. Do you go down onto the floor, Shiorn, or do you stay up on the walls or anything like that?
What do we see around us?
So it's kind of a domed ceiling to this gazebo area, and it's the top of the ceiling itself is probably a good 40 feet up, and it's then supported along the kind of the balcony area by these large pillars at intervals.
I'm gonna.
And then
sorry.
there's a kind of a wide entrance that moves into the cliff face that's pretty dark. It just kind of moves into a hallway that you can't see past more than where your dark vision leads.
All right. I'm gonna look up at Kale and Merrick with that way lizards sometimes do, like right back, and see if to see if they have any preference.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
You guys see also that the floor itself seems to have a bit of artwork to it. There are a lot of nature-themed symbols and artwork along the floor. The pillars themselves seem to be have a lot of kind of like carved in. What's the one with the material is outward? Is that embossed? Or is that...
Emboss is in.
Emboss is in, what's the opposite?
I don't know.
Whatever the opposite of embossed is it's basically worked outward so it has texture. And it looks like vines and plant growth is going around the columns, but it's just made out of the column itself.
I think embossed is the out one and engraved is in the inside. It's inward.
Maybe. I feel like...
Well, let's have a vocabulary lesson and just look this up.
Who knows? I said that with a lot of confidence, but I don't know for sure.
Decorative design that stands out in relief, embossed. So yes,
Okay.
Embossed on the material, and the whole place itself continues with this kind of vibe. But yeah, it leads into this dark tunnel, and it just seems quiet here.
The roof does have enough room to support us and looks like strong enough.
It's a bit cracked and weathered, but that seems to be the case in pretty much all of the material here. So maybe not somewhere to sleep on, but for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the ground just to avoid breaking, being too heavy for this thing.
This giant lizard down to the ground, and you guys are on solid ground at the moment.
And then I just
One giant lizard on the ground, one on the ceiling.
And then I just lay down and let the other two do what they need to get off.
Torque's still looking at giant lizard Shior, and he's gonna go ahead and just say in like Draconic, "Can you understand me as you are?"
I have to look this up.
I don't think the lizard speaks
I
Draconic.
can.
I don't think it does.
Ew.
Language is none. She just looks up at you and blinks. Both sets of eyes.
Torque responds in kind.
And you definitely are feeling not so much anymore a feeling of being watched as just a presence. That whatever is down here definitely has a bit of an overwhelming presence that even if it's not there, it just seems to always be, you can feel the pressure of it.
How bad is this for Torque's animal instincts?
Definitely telling you to run.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and stay in the form, the lizard form.
Okay.
Shioran likes to use up her as much of the time as she can.
You can see that there's other areas out from here. There's no paths connecting them from where you're at, but you can see there's other areas that are kind of out along the cliff face that continue out all the way to where you can see at this point it's kind of it's just a sliver of the sky that you can see on the outside at the far edge of the cavern, and on numerous buildings that are along the walls and whatnot. Not sure how they're all connected, but they seem to be. What do you guys do?
And you said there was like nothing around here?
Not at the moment, no. Seems to be just an empty gazebo balcony.
I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye out and watch for more movement, because we saw movement from above, right?
In a number of the places, yeah. Not specifically from here, but...
But we're completely at the bottom, or is there like more?
Oh no, you're at the bottom. You're at like the top of this cavern city at this point.
At the top of the city?
Yep.
Okay, so there's more downward to go.
There's more out and there's more down.
Is there like a path that goes
And there's
downward?
Not from where you're at. And there's a whole other wall on the opposite side of the cavern that has more buildings.
Well, I don't know if everyone wanted to untie themselves or not if we're going down more. I guess we,
There's the hallway in front of you, but that's about the only path you got other than climbing more.
Well, Shiorin's gonna look at the others, questioningly.
Do we want to explore here or keep going down?
Want to leave.
And you see the Torque has started to shiver again, kind of similar to how he did when you first, Kale and Shauna first saw him in Zilspar.
Brian, are you muted?
No, I'm not muted.
Okay, just making sure.
The wind is howling in the caverns around you.
So, no one has a preference where to go?
What time of day is it?
Hard to exactly tell, but it's probably about like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, that matches up with the calendar.
I wouldn't mind studying the immediate area.
I want to go to the edge of the gazebo, like towards the thing, and I just want to say hello in Primordial. No, not Primordial, Infernal. Sorry, wrong language. Yeah.
Are you saying it loudly or just saying it?
Well, I mean, if this thing can watch me from like a million miles away, I'm just gonna say it quietly.
All right. You just kind of say it. It is lost to the more loudly wind that is howling through the cavern. Nothing really registers. Presence is still there.
Okay. So, hallway or climb?
Is the hallway big enough for the lizard?
Yep, it's pretty big actually. It's about the ceiling itself is about 40 feet up. The top of this kind of like arched hallway is about 20 feet up, and it's about 15 feet across.
So Shiorin will point.
My lantern.
Okay.
Point it into the hallway.
Actually, that's a question I should probably look up. It does not have dark vision. Yes, it does. Okay.
So
Shiorin.
you.
Sorry.
I was just say the Retribution turns on a lantern and kind of points it into the hallway, and you see that it continues on past even where the bullseye lantern itself, or the lantern itself, shines a light. But you see with more detail now that there are these kind of like painted murals of different kinds along the walls. That are cracked and weathered and kind of hard to see at this distance. You have to get actually into the hallway itself to see exactly what they are.
Does it look like the hallway is slanting downwards?
Not immediately.
Shiorin's going to move a little bit towards the hallway and then look back.
All right.
The hallway does seem more interesting.
I'm gonna stay riding the lizard.
Okay.
Shiorin's
Taylor,
okay with that.
Taylor, are you getting off?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm guessing the majority of you continue and kind of move a little bit towards the hallway itself, and you can see that it leads off, continuing into darkness, and it kind of, at the very end, as you shine your light at the farthest end you can, once you get to the edge, you can see that it does start to kind of slant and move down to the left from where you're facing. And if you move it along the walls, you can tell that a lot of the details have been kind of worn away with time and weathering, but there are some details to it. You can see figures that are seemingly moving along in some sort of march or travel or pilgrimage of some kind. You're not sure. And it seems to depict some sort of journey for a group of people, and it seems to be the same on both sides of the hallway. And it seems from the direction of the people itself, it seems to be leading into the hallway.
Do the people seem goblin-like?
There's no defining characteristics besides that they are painted green. They're just more like kind of dark figures, not in the sense of like sinister. They're just kind of like dark green, humanoid-shaped figures.
All right, and they're just like, all they're doing is just like walking forward or something?
There's a number of other aspects to it that aren't necessarily important, but it's just a detailed kind of mural with signs of nature, and it looks also that there's a bit of a idea of like a sun, kind of like rays coming at their back.
So personally, I'm thinking this might be a mural of the druids that were mentioned. The what was it, gatekeeper druids?
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot tell people this right now, so.
As the main group is moving forward, they do notice that Torque is lagging behind. He's very apprehensive to continue moving forward down this hallway. Still on the ceiling, mind you.
I will. Oh, you're still on the ceiling.
I am.
How far up is the ceiling?
About 20 feet.
I'm going to be like, Torque, could you come look at this?
Kind of quickly, like, lizard climb down in the way that only lizards can. When he reaches the ground, he doesn't stand up, by the way. He still continues to crawl as a lizard.
Okay. I'm gonna point to the wall. Like, does this register anything with you?
Make a history check.
You stand up.
Natural 1.
Do you stand up to look at the mural better?
I'm like, you gotta get close.
I will.
Alright, then I'm just going to like grab his arm and then continue walking.
It's you have no idea whether it's the anxiety or just not knowing, but it doesn't mean too much to you. And as you guys travel into this hallway and start to investigate a little bit more, that's what we'll call it for this evening, as you traipse into the darkness of this abandoned ancient cliffside city.
Torque just staring at this mural, like, wall-eyed, as Red starts dragging him along, his claws still gripping onto the floor, so there's just scraping up little grooves.
Strong, I can pull you.
Alright. That wasn't how I wanted to do that. Oh well. So that would basically be it for tonight, I guess. Did we hold on, what's next week?
So next week and the 24th are going to be skips, just because I have some plans next week, and then 24th is Christmas Eve. So
do you say the 7th as well?
I
I believe you said something
Well,
in
after
January.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be gone.
31st.
Yeah, Are we? That was the next thing. Are we going to do a New Year's Eve? Are people up for that, or we can just keep it kind of play it by ear, see where people are at
Right.
closer to that.
I've
I've
do a
got
one
nothing
shot on
planned
New Year's
on
Eve.
my own for New Year's, so
Mm-hmm.
I think I have anything to do.
Do we have enough people for that?
For what?
Doing it on New Year's Eve?
It'll be an off week for Skylar, so he won't be here. So we'll see if we'll just kind of keep play by ear.
Yeah,
for
we can do
week.
that.
But then yeah, I will be gone the 7th and the 14th of January. So
Right. So we will have no D&D for the next couple of weeks, and the 31st we'll keep you guys posted, and then after that 2 more weeks.
busy holiday stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's
those of you that showed up,
next
thank
Friday.
you for doing so. Hopefully you come
I
back.
finished the one
Mhm.
shot.
Thank you very much for the raid and for the follows. I will be back personally on this channel Sunday at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue playing BioShock Infinite. Which, by the way, I freaking love the world building they did with that game.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Mm-hmm. Do
Yes.
we have... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you guys could, like Tori said, you guys could do the finish out the one shot next week if you guys are all
We
available.
could. But Zangetsu said he had something he was doing. Oh wait, no, you said next week.
Yeah, that's when Scott will be
Right,
gone.
yeah, we can do that. If V's feeling any better, she can join us too. But does anyone have an name for this session? Kind of tempted to name it So Many Gobos, but
Do it up.
or I could just keep what I put in here, the pun that Zangetsu came up with. What was it? Where did?
To the dark below.
Gob me a hand or 4.
Bonk.
Bonk. Bonk on the head. What do you guys think? Anyone in the audience got an idea? Assuming you... I don't know where my brain was going for that one. I'm tired now.
Title: Big Lizard. I'm a researcher.
Big Lizard, I'm a researcher.
The Descent.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. The Descent is pretty good. Alright. Alright,
I
everyone.
like Gobsmacked.
One more question and then we'll be out.
That's
Anyone
also
have
a good one.
Gobsmacked? Gobsmacked sounds good too.
Yeah.
That's probably the best one, actually. Does anyone have a choice for who to raid?
No.
Let me see.
Nope.
Yeah, I have a guy.
Okay, cool. Send it to me.
All right. I am sending it to you right now.
That was probably the slowest ending we've had in a while.
It happens.
Alright, JD the Goat. Sound good to
Yep.
me?
JD the Goat.
He's a friend of my Destiny clan, so I figured out why not.
Alright, we're starting that raid. Now, oh wait. I somehow deleted the last letter. Try that again. /raid. Insert. Okay, there we go. Raid started. Alright everyone, you all have a great night, or if it's not night, whatever time you're watching this at.
See you guys.
Just have a great
Yeah.
day.
See ya.
See you later. And there's the raid.